All right, so like I said, we're on page 192 today, and you're going to be determining line relationships when given a graph or an equation. You're going to be determining line relationships when given a graph or an equation. So let's do this little table here. All right, let's call this column slope of line number 1, and this column will be slope of line number 2, and then in this column we're going to call it relationship. And the relationships that we're working with are parallel, perpendicular, or neither. All right, so we're going to say if the slope of line number 1 is 2/3, whether you got it from a graph, or you got it from points, or you got it from an equation, and the slope of line number 2 is 2/3, what is the relationship of the lines? Anybody? Same slope. The lines have the same slope, so they are parallel. Lines that have the same slope are parallel. If the slope of line number 1 is 4/3, and the slope of line number 2 is -3/4, what is the relationship of the lines? All right, are they parallel? No, they're perpendicular, right? Because -3/4 is the negative reciprocal of 4/3. So these lines are perpendicular. Now, another definition we said of negative reciprocal is if you multiplied the two slopes. If you took 4/3 times -3/4, that equals -1. And if the product of the two slopes is -1, then the lines are perpendicular. Okay? If the slope of one of the lines is 1/3, and the slope of the other line is 2/5, what is the relationship of the lines? Neither. They're not parallel, they're not perpendicular, so they are called neither. They are just two lines that intersect each other somewhere. Same slope, lines are parallel. If you multiply the slopes of the two lines and your product is -1, then the lines are perpendicular. If the slopes aren't the same, and when you multiply them, it's not -1, let's double check this. 1/3 times 2/5. Just type it in your calculator. It's 2/15. All right, so they're neither. The product's not -1, the products or the slopes aren't the same, so the lines are just two intersecting lines. So the first part of today's assignment is going to be the same as yesterday. All right, if you look at page 197, problems 7, 8, and 9 that you're going to do today, those are just 3 graphs. And you're going to have to get the coordinates off line AB, and then you're going to have to get the coordinates off of line CD, and you're going to have to find the two slopes and compare them. So let's do the first part of number 7 together. All right, so we got point A. What's the x coordinate of point A? -5. And what's the y coordinate? +4. All right, so point A is at -5, 4. I'm just counting the lines on the coordinate plane. And point B is at x value of point B. 4. And the y value of point B, +1. So that is your x sub 1, y sub 1, x sub 2, and y sub 2 for the first line, for line AB. And then you have line CD, so coordinates of point C are going to be at -2 and 3. And point D is going to be located at -1, 2, 3, 4, -4, -3. And then we can label these x sub 1, y sub 1, and x sub 2, y sub 2. All right. Find the slope of each line, compare the slopes, and determine if the lines are parallel, perpendicular, or neither. Does anybody have a question about how to find the x and y coordinates for each point? Nobody. How to find the x and y coordinates for each point? Because the only person that was answering my questions, she already has like a 95 in the class, so I think she can figure that out. Anybody else not know how to find the x, y coordinates of each of these points? Just take them right off the graph, right? Well, I was asking if anybody had a question about how to find the coordinates of each of these points on each line. You don't know how to do that. All right, so then let's go back to number 7 on page 197. And I'll try to draw it the best that I can. This horizontal axis, is that the x or the y? Horizontal axis, that's the x-axis. What about the vertical axis? Which one is that? That's the y. All right, so problem number 7 on page 197. Everybody see point A up there? It's kind of in the upper left. Well, if we count to the left of the origin on the x-axis, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 points, we get to the end, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 points. And then how many do I got to go up until I get to point A? I got to go up 1, 2, 3, 4. Point A is right here. We went left 5, which puts us at -5. And then we went up to +4. So that means the coordinates of point A are at its x value is -5 and its y value is +4. Better? Yeah. Got that, Serafini? Good. Let's do the same thing for point B. All right? Point B, how far to the right of the origin do we got to go on the x? 4 to the right. So 1, 2, 3, 4 to the right. And up how many? Up 1. So right here. That's point B. So its coordinates are at 4, and this was 1. So they're at 4, 1. And then the points have a line going through them. So I don't know how straight my line's going to be. Oh, that's pretty good. That is pretty good. That's freehand too, by the way. So now let's look up. All right. Here's point A. It's at -5, 4. Here's point B. It's at 4, 1. Everybody okay with that? Yeah. All right. We're going to come back to that in a minute. Now, look back at that graph. Problem number 7 on page 197. Point C. How many do we got to go left on the x? Count again. 2. So we're going left 2. That's -2. And how many are we going up? We're going up 3. So point C is at -2 and 3. All right. And then point D. Point D, we're going to go left. How many? 1. We're going to go left 4. So that's at -4. And then how many do we got to go down? Down. 1, 2, 3. So its y value is going to be at -3. So x is -4 and y is -3. And then I'm going to try to connect those again. So those are your 2 lines. The question is, determine whether each pair of lines is parallel, perpendicular, or neither. So yesterday, you did the same thing, except you were already given the points. Today, you're given points on a line, or on 2 lines. You have to determine what the x and y value is, and then you have to find the 2 slopes. So let's find the slope of line AB right now. And again, the slope formula is equal to y sub 2 minus y sub 1 divided by x sub 2 minus x sub 1. So we're going to say slope of AB is equal to, here's our points A and B. So in the numerator, what goes in the numerator? Y sub 2 minus y sub 1. So wouldn't that be 1 minus 4? What goes in the denominator? 4 minus 4 minus 4 minus negative 5. Now everybody's got their calculator out. So what's 1 minus 4? Good. And what's 4 minus negative 5? Positive 9. And what does negative 3 over 9 simplify to? Negative 1 over 3. So the slope of line AB, the slope of AB is negative 1/3. Agreed? Okay. Now we have to do the same thing for line CD. So slope of CD. All right, so now we're using these 2 points. These x sub 1, y sub 1, x sub 2, y sub 2. What's going in the numerator? Negative 3 minus what? Minus 3. Negative 4 minus negative 2. All right, negative 3 minus 3. Negative 6. Negative 4 minus negative 2. Change. Negative 2? And what's negative 6 divided by negative 2? Negative 6 divided by negative 2. What kind of 3? Positive or negative? Positive 3. All right, so now we got the slope. We got the slope of line CD, and it's 3. Are those two slopes the same? No. So are the lines parallel? No. Are these two slopes negative reciprocals of each other? Well, isn't 3 the same as 3 over 1? Okay. Why don't you take your calculator and multiply negative 1/3 times 3 over 1? Negative 1/3 times 3 over 1. The 3's cancel, the 1's cancel, and we're left with negative 1. So if the product of the slopes is negative 1, what is the relationship of the lines? Perpendicular. Does everybody understand that now? Do you understand that any better than yesterday?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, so then here's what we're going to do today. If you look in the book on page 197, I want you to do page 197. I want you to do problem 6 again. And then I want you to do 7 through 9. So we're going to do 6 through 9. Problems 6 through 9. It's only 4 problems. I want you to try to do number 7 by yourself without looking at your notes. But if you get stuck on number 7, then look at your notes because we just did number 7 together. Okay? So you just have 4 practice problems to do today, 6 through 9. And then if you have any time, you can work in the Alex app. You've got your 10 topics to learn this week. Anybody have any questions?
Oh wait, on yesterday's notes, there was like, you added at the bottom. Which the problem?
Oh, I added 1 second.
Yeah.